At first, it seemed like nothing more than just a rumor circulating on social media, but everything changed when a mysterious 6-minute video suddenly appeared out of nowhere. No one knew its origin, nor who had recorded it, yet within an hour it went viral, dominating every online platform. The footage, believed to be taken from a security camera inside Rick Harrison's private Las Vegas mansion, quickly became the center of attention. From that moment on, the situation escalated swiftly, sparking a new investigation and forcing the public to question what was truly going on behind the scenes of America's most notorious pawn empire. The shock didn't come from violent images or blatant criminal activity, but from the bizarre and unsettling details that surfaced. The footage left viewers unnerved, and within 12 hours of its release, controversy spread like wildfire. What's really happening in the shadows of the Pawn Stars empire? Is this just a random occurrence, or is there a hidden truth lurking beneath the polished facade of a beloved television show? Before the official investigation even began, it was uncovered that Rick's security system wasn't your typical setup from a standard company. Instead, it featured over 20 infrared cameras capable of storing encrypted data and recording audio throughout the mansion, including the basement. The FBI spent nearly 6 hours backing up the entire file, a clear indication that what had been captured was of significant importance. The most alarming footage revealed power outages selectively affecting only the basement and kitchen areas between February 26th and March 3rd, while all other cameras remained operational. This raised suspicions of deliberate interference, hinting that something more sinister than a mere technical glitch was at play. The most shocking revelation came at 1:37 a.m. on March 1st, when a camera near the basement stairs captured Rick in his pajamas, holding a satellite phone, as he opened the back door to let an unidentified man into the house. There were no words exchanged, no clear identification, and then both men vanished from the camera's view just as the kitchen and basement cameras inexplicably went offline. This unsettling detail was never mentioned in Rick's official statement to the FBI on March 6th. When questioned, he insisted that no one had visited his home between February 28th and March 4th, attributing the camera malfunction to a temporary power outage. However, upon replaying the footage, Rick appeared visibly surprised, yet not alarmed. An odd reaction that experts suggested might imply he was already aware of what was happening. So, what lies hidden beneath the surface of what seems like an ordinary mansion? Stay tuned as we continue to unravel the mystery behind the incident that has rocked the media. One of the most shocking turns of events came when a mysterious surveillance video appeared on an anonymous forum known for sharing rare documents. Posted on the evening of March 8th, just 2 days after the FBI had seized data from Rick Harrison's security system, the video, labeled Footage, Zo41 Pawn Levy, runs from 1:31 a.m. to 1:37 a.m. on March 1st, the exact moment Rick opens the door for the unidentified man. What made this footage even more intriguing is that it's unedited, without a watermark, and boasts much higher quality than standard surveillance footage. This led to suspicions that the video wasn't recorded by the primary devices on the scene, but rather from an internal backup system or even a secure data processing center. The unexpected release of the video ignited a firestorm of debate across social media platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and specialized discussion forums. People quickly began asking, if this video was in the hands of the authorities, could it be the work of an insider or a sign of a serious security breach in safeguarding sensitive data? This shift in focus rapidly moved the public's attention away from the investigation into assets, raising urgent concerns about information security and casting doubts on the transparency of the entire investigation process. If you're intrigued by this story and want to dive deeper into the mysteries surrounding the video leak and Rick Harrison's investigation, drop a comment with the number 1. If not, simply leave a comment with the number 0. Don't forget to hit like, share this video with your friends, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any thrilling updates coming your way. Now let's uncover this fascinating story together. The clip, reportedly extracted from the security system at Rick Harrison's estate in Las Vegas, shows the Pawn Stars star walking alone into the kitchen at midnight. He then unexpectedly opens a hidden passage beneath the tile floor, a feature not mentioned in any of the publicly available designs of the house. Rick vanishes for almost an hour, only to return holding a black cloth-covered box right after the camera feed flickers and the entire screen briefly turns white. The video quickly became the center of intense attention, prompting authorities to act swiftly. Within hours of its release, the FBI launched a comprehensive search of Rick's estate, seizing all electronic devices and surveillance data for further investigation. What stunned the public wasn't just the speed of the reaction, but the chilling question of what had truly been concealed for all these years. Rick's estate, once regarded as a quiet retreat from the spotlight, wasn't just a home. It also contained priceless antiques, some of which had never been featured on television. But on March 4th, everything changed. The FBI's search didn't just focus on financial records. Their attention was fixated on an internal camera system that allegedly recorded a series of eerie and unexplained events. The discovery left everyone questioning what had been hidden within those walls for so long. Rick Harrison, known for his positive public image on television, suddenly found himself at the center of an unsolved mystery. Surveillance footage uncovered strange behavior during the 10 days leading up to the raid. Rick was often seen leaving his room at night, moving around the kitchen without turning on the lights, and using a satellite phone rather than a regular cell. Curiously, the basement was always locked, a peculiar detail for a man living alone. While no illegal activity was directly observed, experts speculated that his late-night movements, reliance on specialized communication devices, and increased time spent in the basement might indicate the presence of a much more secretive and complex operation than the public ever imagined. The news surrounding Rick's life sent shockwaves through the media. The leaked video, lasting 6 minutes and 12 seconds, was eerily silent. There were no dramatic actions, yet the sheer silence in each frame created an unsettling atmosphere, as though the viewer was witnessing something beyond explanation, something that couldn't be rationalized by ordinary logic or special effects. The video held the audience's attention not because of what it showed, but because of what it implied. Was this just a glimpse of a much larger story, or merely a strange coincidence? Until official statements are made, the truth remains an enigma, waiting to be uncovered. In the opening scene, Rick Harrison appears in the kitchen at 1:28 a.m. Wearing a wrinkled gray t-shirt, sleep pants, and barefoot, he enters the dimly lit space. The kitchen lights are off, with only a faint glow from a wall-mounted light above the kitchen island. Rick doesn't acknowledge the camera, speak, or show any signs of unease. His eyes are unfocused, staring intently at his phone screen, as if waiting for a signal. After about 40 seconds of stillness, he walks slowly toward the refrigerator, not to retrieve anything, but simply to lean against it. He bends down slightly, and a faint click echoes through the room. The footage then shows Rick silently twisting a hidden latch at the bottom of the refrigerator. As he does, a section of the floor tiles near the island, indistinguishable from the rest, silently slides open to reveal a small trap door with a concrete staircase descending below. In complete silence, with no motor sounds or wind, Rick calmly retrieves a powerful flashlight from the kitchen drawer. He switches it to red, a color commonly used to evade infrared cameras, and begins to descend the stairs. The overhead camera near the wine cabinet captures his shadow vanishing beneath the trap door. The timestamp on the screen shows that exactly 47 minutes pass before Rick reappears. When he returns, he's carrying a large black-painted wooden box, about 3 feet long, 12 inches wide, and seemingly very heavy. Rick moves slowly, slightly leaning forward, using both hands to steady himself as he carefully navigates back up the stairs. Rick's demeanor remains calm, showing no signs of anxiety or urgency. He walks slowly down the hallway toward the master bedroom. The living room camera captures him opening the bedroom door, placing the box on the bed, and then locking the door behind him. But then something odd occurs. The bedroom camera, which had been functioning perfectly the day before, suddenly becomes blurry and distorted about 10 seconds after the door shuts. The image flickers with static, and the sound warps, as though it's being disrupted by an unknown signal. When the feed finally clears, the box is gone from the bed, and Rick is no longer in the room. 8 minutes pass with no footage showing Rick leaving the house, and no evidence of the box being moved. Questions immediately surface. Where did the box go? What occurred during the 10 seconds of signal disruption? A team of technical experts, including an independent data recovery team from Atlanta, analyzed the video. They concluded that the signal was likely jammed by a specialized mobile device, commonly used in military or high-security operations. This device can temporarily block cameras within a 10 to 15-meter radius and leave no trace if powered down quickly after use. The 10-second interference is particularly telling. It suggests that Rick, or someone assisting him, had precise knowledge of how to manipulate the system to conceal this critical moment. Another detail that caught the analyst's attention was Rick's expression as he emerged from the basement. Despite his outward calm, facial recognition software detected subtle signs of internal stress. His pupils were slightly dilated, and his shoulders were slightly hunched as he lifted the box. This wasn't fear, but rather a sign of someone enduring immense pressure. In this footage, Rick Harrison was no longer the cheerful, lively man viewers recognized from television. He had transformed into someone entirely different, calm, calculated, and fully in control of every movement. Another significant discovery came from the ambient noise in the video. Initially dismissed as regular static, an analysis of frequencies below 100 Hz revealed a low-pitched sound lasting about 3 seconds, suspected to be human speech. Recognition software identified the voice as male, possibly speaking Turkish or a southern Chinese dialect. The word hazerlan was detected, a Turkish term that translates to ready or prepared. This phrase matched information Interpol had gathered from encrypted communications within an artifact smuggling network across Asia. In these exchanges, hazerlan was used as a signal to confirm that a transfer had been completed, linking the video to a potentially larger illegal operation. This is one of the key reasons the FBI decided not to release the footage. While the video doesn't directly show any criminal activity, the peculiar details, such as the strange sounds and the deliberate distortion of how Rick handled the box, suggest the involvement of a highly organized underground network. No cash changed hands, and no illegal items were captured on camera, but Rick's actions clearly indicate that he knew exactly what he was concealing. This wasn't a random occurrence. It appeared to be part of a series of meticulously planned actions. When the video leaked, viewers didn't witness scenes of blood or a dramatic police raid, but what they felt was far more intense. An overwhelming, eerie sense that something monumental was being hidden. The dim lighting, grainy footage, and Rick's cold, calculated movements painted a starkly different picture from the familiar image of a television star. This is the story of a man who may have turned his own home into the nerve center of an illegal operation, possibly with international connections. And if a single video can reveal so much, how many more secrets lie buried in the surveillance system now firmly in the FBI's grasp? Some posts have claimed that Rick Harrison is on the VIP list for a secret auction in Zurich, where illegal transactions involving prohibited artifacts are rumored to take place. An anonymous account called Pawn Insider asserts that it possesses a copy of a catalog listing items believed to be trafficked through Harrison's network, including stolen Buddhist statues, gemstones from Myanmar, and ancient documents from Jewish temples. While these allegations remain unverified, the timing of the video leak has fueled intense speculation across online forums, with many questioning the true extent of Harrison's involvement in illicit activities. Interestingly, these conspiracy theories have expanded beyond Rick Harrison to encompass the entire Pawn Stars show. Some users now speculate that the series could serve as a cover to legitimize black market transactions. Analysts have uncovered something startling. Up to 12 guests from the first 8 seasons of the show have no digital footprint, no social media records, no company ties or public documentation, an anomaly in today's digital age. For over a decade, we've watched what seemed like a harmless TV show, unaware that it might be a cog in a far-reaching international money laundering and smuggling network. One user commented, "At this point, the question isn't whether Rick Harrison is hiding something in his basement, but how long he's been hiding it, and how many others are involved in a world that's becoming all too familiar with shocking revelations from scandals like Jeffrey Epstein's and Hollywood networks. There's nothing left to expose. Rick, once a beloved TV personality with a friendly smile and a passion for history, is now tangled in a web of suspicion, and perhaps even fear." Meanwhile, the FBI remains tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the authenticity of the leaked video. However, the involvement of a digital forensic team from Quantico has made one thing clear. They know this story doesn't end with the viral clip. Their focus is on uncovering the rest of the story, or at least identifying who holds it, before the next clip surfaces online and blows everything wide open. There are 3 key reasons why the agency has refused to release the footage. No guns, no physical evidence, and no actual transaction. However, what makes the footage chilling to both viewers and federal agents is the cold, calculated, and deliberate manner in which Rick acts. For the FBI, this is no longer the vague suspicion surrounding a TV star with a complicated personal life. It's a clue pointing to an individual who might be orchestrating covert, illicit financial activities. As soon as the footage showed Rick returning from the basement with the black wooden box, the investigation shifted into a new phase, with him now being considered a potential link in a global underground network. One critical detail was how Rick handled the object inside the box for about 35 seconds. The hallway camera clearly recorded him bringing the box into the bedroom, then returning to the kitchen wearing rubber gloves. He sat at a table, unwrapped a tray tightly covered in black fabric, and carefully wiped a small metal object with the gloves. The object resembled an ancient statue of either the god Shiva or Kamar Brahman. It was smaller than the size of a palm, yellowish in color, and showed signs of heavy oxidation at the base. While experts couldn't make an exact identification, they noted that the item closely resembled artifacts reported missing from the Proat Prize Temple in Cambodia in 2006. If this object is indeed a stolen artifact, Rick's act of cleaning it with gloves not only reflects an effort to preserve it, but also suggests a deliberate attempt to erase any traces of fingerprints, DNA, or soil, common techniques used in professional smuggling operations. This raises a serious legal question. If Rick didn't know the object's true nature, why would he handle it so meticulously and professionally? But if he did know and continued to touch and clean the item, then this was no longer a case of ignorance. It was intentional concealment. In other words, he knew what he had and chose to act regardless. Additionally, one particularly intriguing detail emerged in the second leaked video, just 4 days later. Rick was first seen making a phone call in the garage area around 3 hours a.m. However, the device he used wasn't a typical smartphone. It was a satellite phone, possibly a Thora or Iridium model, commonly used in military operations or in remote areas with no mobile signal. If you're surprised by this story, don't forget to hit like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments below to let us know. Now let's dive deeper into this story. These types of devices operate independently of national mobile networks, are not controlled by local carriers, and are virtually untraceable without a dedicated satellite system. The FBI quickly flagged this detail in their internal confidential files as a significant red flag, amplifying concerns about the background noise in the video. While the conversation was tightly encrypted, technicians at the Quantico facility managed to recover a brief excerpt from the interrupted call, thanks to interference that disrupted the signal. This recovery only deepened the mystery surrounding Rick's activities. Initially, the voices in the recording were believed to be Arabic, but after phonetic analysis they were identified as Turkish, likely from the Gaziantep region. Some of the identifiable phrases included hati, line, let's go, elized, we have it in our hands, and zamanyak, no time. These phrases had previously appeared in intercepted encrypted communications by Interpol from smuggling rings operating along the Turkey-Syria border between 2012 and 2020. The similarities didn't end with the language. The FBI also discovered that several missing artifacts from past investigations involving Iraq, Syria, and Egypt had been transported via Route C, a shipping route with identifier codes that matched those found in internal emails from a company indirectly owned by Rick Harrison, RH Holdings LLC. This company was registered in Nevada, but it also had an escrow account in Zurich, raising further suspicions about its involvement in illicit operations. Originally classified as a real estate and antique investment fund, RH Holdings was later flagged by the U.S. IRS for lacking transparency in its asset transfers, including the satellite phone found in the glove compartment, the foreign language conversations, and connections to artifact trafficking. These details weren't isolated. They formed a tightly connected chain of organized actions. This is the primary reason the FBI chose to classify the footage as top secret and withhold any materials outside their investigation. While no explicit violence was recorded, the video strongly suggests the presence of organized, illegal activity and large-scale transnational crime, particularly pointing to the possibility that Rick wasn't acting alone. The key issue making this case so sensitive is that if it can be proven that Rick Harrison is part of an international network, his entire record, along with hundreds of transactions publicly available through Pawn Stars, would need to be scrutinized in detail. The sale of thousands of unverified artifacts would no longer be viewed as mere entertainment or harmless transactions on a TV show. Instead, it could be reevaluated as a form of money laundering disguised as mainstream television, exposing Rick to serious legal risks and sparking widespread media fallout. The FBI has remained completely silent, neither confirming nor denying the authenticity of the video, while escalating digital security to the federal level to safeguard all data related to the case. However, once information is leaked, the internet rarely lets anything disappear. Despite increased efforts to conceal it, public curiosity has reached new heights. With millions of views in just a few hours, the question is no longer about what Rick did, but why there is such a strong effort to keep the video hidden. Why are so many people so afraid of the public seeing it that they went to such lengths to cover it up? The next question that arises is, who released this video and why? Just hours after the 6-minute clip, taken from the camera system at Rick Harrison's private estate, was uploaded to an anonymous forum on the morning of March 11th, the FBI issued an internal memo within 24 hours. The directive instructed all relevant units to immediately retrieve all copies and launch an investigation into the leak. This not only indirectly confirmed the authenticity of the video, but also exposed a serious security breach in what was thought to be a fully secure process. What shocked the public was that the leaked video wasn't just in HD quality, it was rendered in MXF format, a standard used in the media industry, and clearly had been carefully edited. This was no amateur effort. From there, 3 main theories quickly emerged. In online communities and among analysts, the first hypothesis suggests that the leak came from someone within the FBI, which seems the most technically feasible and logical based on sources familiar with the investigation. All videos related to the Rick Harrison case were processed at a digital recovery center in Denver, where a team of senior forensic experts worked. Access to the original materials was restricted to just 4 people: 2 senior agents, 1 forensic supervisor, and an outside IT engineer temporarily hired by the FBI. This limited access has led many to speculate that the leak originated from within the agency itself. Notably, the IT engineer, the only person not on the FBI payroll, is mentioned in the leaked report that surfaced on the Dark Leaks platform. Referred to as MM, this individual had previously worked for a data analytics company in Virginia and had a history of opposing excessive federal record retention. While there's no direct evidence to suggest that MM was the one who leaked the information, the timing of his login to the system suspiciously coincided with the release of the video. Furthermore, the IP address used to upload the clip was traced to a virtual server cluster near his residence. Many believe the leak was a form of protest against the concealment of information, adding another layer of intrigue to the case. The second theory suggests that an external force deliberately orchestrated the scandal. If Rick Harrison is indeed involved in an international artifact smuggling network, it's not difficult to imagine that enemies within the antique trade industry might be trying to take him down. The international antiques market is inherently a closed underground world, where every link in the chain, from auction houses to appraisers to shippers, has its own network, often with conflicting interests. If Rick had refused a sensitive deal or was holding valuable artifacts others wanted, releasing the video at the precise moment the FBI launched an investigation could have been a strategic move designed to confront him. This isn't just a standalone scandal. It could be part of a broader power struggle between competing shadowy forces. A user on the X platform, formerly Twitter, claiming to be Antiquity Insider, caught attention by suggesting that an antique dealer Rick had previously canceled a $3 million deal with in 2022 might be behind the leak. While the identity of the poster remains unverified, an email leaked from a business dispute between Rick and a dealer based in Berlin last year referenced a failed shipment from the Balkans, including an illegal artifact cache. Could this be an act of revenge from a close associate Rick betrayed, trying to expose him and settle an old score? The theory adds an intriguing layer to the mystery surrounding the leak. The third and most controversial theory posits that the leak was an internal act of revenge. A family member, relative, or former associate who worked closely with Rick during the Pawn Stars era may have felt betrayed and chose to retaliate. Rick's son, Cory Harrison, recently wrote a cryptic message. "Family has nothing to hide except for those around them." This comment sparked speculation about a potential rift within the family. On Reddit, some users pointed to a former appraiser who worked closely with gold and silver pawn and was suddenly fired in 2021 after an internal audit. Since then, the individual has vanished from the public eye, but had maintained a close relationship with Rick for nearly a decade and still had remote access to the security system. Did they know which videos would cause harm, and if so, was this the lethal blow aimed at a former ally who knew too much? The theory adds a personal and deeply emotional layer to the ongoing mystery. The video was released on the same day that Rick was investigated, according to FBI records. This timing led many cybersecurity experts to conclude that the leak wasn't an accident but a carefully orchestrated move, strategically timed to create a stir. It appeared to be a blockbuster media strategy designed to bypass the FBI's control over the information and thrust the public into the spotlight. Analysts, YouTubers, and countless others immediately became unwitting investigators, each driving the story forward in their own way. The leak transformed the investigation into a public spectacle, shifting the narrative from law enforcement control to a chaotic, crowd-driven pursuit of answers. Once this wave exploded, any official information from the FBI seemed like a delayed attempt to catch up with news that had already swept through the public. No one dares to confirm who is truly behind the incident, but one thing is clear. Whether it was an act of revenge, a protest, or a form of market manipulation, the attack succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. Rick Harrison, once a beloved television figure, now finds himself ensnared in a fierce battle for power, information, and truth, his public persona shattered as the stakes rise higher with every new twist in the unfolding drama. After the sudden leak of surveillance footage from Rick Harrison's home, the video quickly went viral across social media. prompting the media to seek answers from Rick's closest associates. However, instead of holding a press conference or attempting to salvage his public image, the public was met with an eerie silence. Cory Harrison, Rick's eldest son and longtime companion on Pawn Stars, offered only one brief sentence when pressed by reporters. "Everyone should wait for the lawyer." No denial, no explanation, no defense. This chilling response froze the news cycle and fueled further suspicion. Does the family genuinely have no idea what's happening in the basement, or do they know everything and are strategically trying to control the damage by remaining unusually cautious? Brett Havland, the family's lawyer and veteran crisis manager, appeared at a private press conference in Las Vegas and stated that the video only tells part of the story, even suggesting it was part of a smear campaign against Rick and his family. However, he refused to provide further details about the video or the legal strategy being pursued. When asked whether the family planned to sue those behind the leak, Havland responded cautiously, "We are not ruling anything out." This vague response only heightened the tension and instability surrounding the case, leaving the public with more questions than answers. Meanwhile, Rick's ex-wife, Tracy Rick, drew attention to the situation when she spoke with National Enquirer, saying, "Rick is not a violent person, but he has always been drawn to shady business deals. I always worried that one day it would all collapse." She also revealed that she had heard Rick mention a special room in the house, but insisted that she had never seen it or knew exactly what it was used for. Her comments only deepened the mystery, hinting at hidden layers to Rick's life that the public had never been aware of. This marks the first time a family member has hinted at the possibility of something being concealed beneath the charming exterior of the TV star, sparking a wave of analysis from online detectives, YouTubers, and podcasters. These remarks quickly ignited a debate on Reddit. Some believe Cory is aware of the situation but is trying to keep his distance to protect himself, while others speculate that he is quietly negotiating to secure the rest of the family fortune. The speculation only intensified as people began questioning not just the actions of Rick, but the true role of his family in the unfolding mystery. A Reddit user named Pawnshop Whistle even claimed that Cory had hired an independent group of lawyers separate from Rick, raising further questions about the family's internal rift and how they plan to handle the crisis. Then, to add fuel to the fire, several extended family members of Rick, who had appeared on Pawn Stars multiple times, suddenly began selling memorabilia related to the show on eBay and Etsy shortly after the video leaked. This strange move only deepened suspicions that the family was either distancing themselves from Rick or preparing for something bigger, sparking more questions about their true involvement in the unfolding drama. An anonymous cousin even listed a pocket watch Rick had given him in 2018, describing it as a memory of a time gone by, but times have changed. Could this be an attempt to sever ties with Rick's tarnished image, or a subtle effort to avoid getting dragged into the legal fallout? Either way, the family's mixed reactions have only fueled public curiosity, leaving the story shrouded in even more mystery. With each new twist, it's clear that there are still many layers to uncover, and the truth behind the scandal remains elusive. For the public, the family's disjointed reactions only amplified the sense that something was deeply wrong behind the scenes at the Harrison family. No one spoke out to declare Rick innocent, nor did anyone express shock or vehemently refute the leaked video. The only thing that was clear was the deliberate silence, orchestrated by their legal team, which seemed designed to unsettle those looking for reassurance. Instead of resistance, the family chose silence, prompting the public to ask, are they protecting something or are they concealing it? In Rick Harrison's case, the answer may lie in another untold story, perhaps details from the leaked video or an undisclosed testimony. But one thing is certain. This crisis is no longer just about a television star. It has rippled across every field, from media to law, psychology to family dynamics. When the surveillance video was leaked and spread across platforms like Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube, an online wave of analysis erupted. People didn't just watch the video. They dissected every small detail, frame, and movement, adjusting brightness, filtering sound, and even recreating the layout of the house based on unusual camera angles. Within 48 hours, the keyword "leaked Rick Harrison basement" garnered over 20 million searches on Google, while the video hashtag was trending globally on Twitter. One of the first detailed analyses came from a Reddit user named US Artifact Seeker, who claimed to be an archaeologist with links to UNESCO. In a 400-word post, this individual argued that the metal object Rick was seen cleaning in the video closely resembled a 10th-century Vishnu statue that was stolen from the Preah Temple in Cambodia in 1997. Although the claim couldn't be confirmed from the blurry footage, the analysis gained significant traction within the Reddit community, fueling speculation that Rick Harrison might own or be protecting artifacts listed on Interpol's Red List. The theories didn't end there. An investigative podcast called The Hidden Vault released 2 special episodes focused on the Rick Harrison case. The host, a former journalist with experience in investigating international money laundering, alleged that Rick owned a secret warehouse in the Las Vegas suburbs, near the Nevada desert. This property was reportedly registered under a shell company named Silverstone Holdings, LLC, further deepening the mystery surrounding Rick's potential involvement in illicit activities. According to the host, the location matched an area that had previously been suspected of being a hub for unverified antiques from the Middle East and North Africa. From there, online discussions began to mention a mysterious entity known as Area B, a secondary vault hidden within Rick Harrison's basement. This vault was rumored to be connected to underground utility tunnels that led to an empty lot behind the mansion, further fueling speculation about the possibility of a hidden network for smuggling or storing illicit artifacts. The mystery surrounding Area B became a central topic of online theories, adding another layer of intrigue to the already bizarre case. Some old house plans surfaced on forums like 4chan, though their authenticity remained unverified. However, these plans did confirm the existence of an L-shaped structure separate from the main rooms. On YouTube, many videos began recreating 3D models of the basement, with some speculating that Area B might house not only artifacts but also sensitive documents, unusual telecommunications equipment, or even extraterrestrial objects. While these theories may sound far-fetched, Rick himself unintentionally fueled the speculation during a Pawn Stars episode in 2013. In the episode, Rick made a cryptic comment about owning items that were too valuable or too rare for anyone to see, sparking further online debates about what could be hidden in the depths of his mansion. Rick joked with a customer about a strange metal piece that looked like it came from Area 51, saying, "I don't take it. If I had too many things that no one was allowed to see..." At the time, it seemed like a harmless joke. But in the current context, this quote was extracted and quickly spread across social media platforms. Many conspiracy YouTube channels now claim that this was an accidental confession, suggesting that Rick Harrison may possess items that are too dangerous to reveal. The situation became even more suspicious when reports surfaced of a large Interpol bust in Turkey, which coincided with the video leak. This timing added further fuel to the growing speculation that Rick might be involved in a much darker operation than previously imagined. Two Byzantine artifacts were intercepted on their way to a European transit center, and one of the artifacts, according to published images, bore engravings that matched 95% with the objects seen in Rick's surveillance video. While authorities have yet to make any official connection, the online community quickly linked the two events, sparking speculation that Rick Harrison may not just be managing illegal artifacts, but could be a central figure in a global smuggling network. The similarities between the objects in the video and the intercepted artifacts raised further questions about the extent of Rick's involvement in illicit activities, pushing the mystery to new, more troubling heights. Videos from old Pawn Stars episodes began circulating, highlighting moments where Rick made deals with unidentified individuals or bought items without valid certificates. One clip was carefully scrutinized, showing him paying over $75,000 for a 15th century sword with no verifiable provenance other than the seller's word. In another clip, Rick declined to trace the origin of a pocket watch, claiming that it would diminish its historical value, a statement now seen as suspiciously contradictory. What were once harmless TV jokes have now become potential evidence of systemic suspicious dealings on platforms like 4chan and Reddit. Conspiracy theories continue to escalate. If you find this story intriguing and want to continue exploring the mysteries surrounding the video leak and Rick Harrison's investigation, don't forget to hit like, share this video with your friends, and leave your thoughts in the comments below to let us know. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any exciting videos coming soon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.